Black Friday looking more like Black and Blue Friday, but it's not just shoppers fighting over holiday deals like these big screen TVs, because this year there's a war on retailers, from anti-Walmart protests to Ferguson protests, but so far it looks like nothing is going to hold back these shoppers. Welcome, everyone. I'm Charles Payne in for Neil Cavuto, and this is Your World. And Fox, on top of it all, William Lajeunesse is with the union-backed protesters targeting Walmart. Steve Harrigan is in St. Louis, where protesters moving down the streets from store to store on this Black Friday. Let's start with William.
Well, Charles, as you know, in this particular case, Walmart is the scapegoat, the symbol, if you will, for union leaders who are trying to make a political point about income equality and to campaign for a living wage. They say no less than $15 an hour. The irony, of course, is that many union workers under union contracts negotiated by the United Food and Commercial Workers Union make about the same amount. Now, the scrutiny, however, is on Walmart and the media attention. Now, some of the people you see in green here are actually Walmart workers taking the day off. Others, of course, are members of the union who've been bussed in from here around the country in Long Beach, as well as Atlanta, Chicago, Washington, D.C., demonstrations there as well. The argument is simply this, that the founders of Walmart are rich and that they have a duty to give their workers more. They pay for health care benefits to increase hours and, again, pay at least $15 an hour.
How can anybody survive on $12 to live and eat? And I was starving. I've lost 60 pounds during that period of time in less than a year. And I'd beg for more hours and they'd say, follow your schedule, we can't do anything about it, with a snicker. And that's why I stand up and that's why I fight.
But as anyone listening, Walmart says perception here is not reality, that they had 22 million shoppers as of this morning. Were people coming in to buy 65-inch televisions for $650. They said they had an awesome Black Friday, that 75% of today's managers began as sales associates, and more than 300,000 workers have been with the company for more than 10 years.
I can't tell you about over there, but I can tell you Walmart has been good to me. Okay, I came here about a year ago, and I started off as a customer service cashier. Then I went to a sales associate in electronics, and then I became a manager within 6 months.
This is very much, Charles, a political rally as well. They're asking people to sign up for a living wage, $15 an hour, across Los Angeles. Not to mention, of course, that some union leaders are making $500,000 a year. That, of course, contradiction was not brought up here. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, William. And of course, all of these protesters, really, do they all work for Walmart? Didn't look like it there. Now, Neil tried to get to the bottom of it on Wednesday's show.
Let's get your thoughts on what you think's going on here. What do you think it is?
Well, our Walmart is a wholly owned subsidiary of the United Food Workers and Commercial Union. It's the UFCW's organization. The UFCW is hiring union employees. They're giving out gift cards. They're actually offering people $200 in free Thanksgiving turkeys in cities like Denver and Chicago to come out and protest. But these are not Walmart employees. These are simply paid street protests, and they're trying to achieve their ultimate goal, which is to unionize Walmart's 1.3 million employees.
Well, here to respond, Kim Bobo, who took part in today's protest. She's with Making Change at Walmart, the campaign, which also includes our Walmart. Kim, welcome to the show. I think you heard the criticism there. Now, we were watching some live shots today. I got to tell you, I didn't see anyone in that crowd that looked like a Walmart employee.
Well, there are Walmart employees at many of the protests around the country. I was at 2 protests today, and ours was primarily church people, synagogue people. We had priests there, we had people, and we were leading prayers, and we were praying both for workers and for the management at Walmart. We believe, I'm the director of Interfaith Worker Justice, we believe that to those who much is given, much is expected. And so we believe that the largest company in America could pay people $15 an hour, that they could and thus they should.
But you work for the organization, the union. You're not a Walmart employee yourself.
No, I do not work for the union. I am a faith leader with Interfaith Worker Justice. We are partnering with our Walmart and other community organizations in supporting what these workers are asking for. But no, I'm a faith leader with Interfaith Worker Justice, and we did 2 prayer vigils at Walmart's today, and we had about maybe 300 around the country that were prayer vigils, primarily people of faith.
Let me get in here for a moment, okay? I understand and I appreciate the prayers that you guys gave, but when you say 1.4 million jobs answers a lot of prayers, how could you be down on a company where people are actually going when millions of people in this country have nothing, when millions of people around the world have nothing? How can you be upset at a company that provides employment for 1.4 million people?
I am glad they're providing jobs, and they could pay decent wages. This company is consolidating money. They had $16 billion in profits. They could share that with their workers.
You understand that their workers aren't working for free. You know, the idea that you can determine how much money Walmart can pay, it's to be quite frank, it's really none of your business. Now, we just had a woman on from Walmart who's been there for 6 months. She is joyed. She is thrilled out of her mind at the upward mobility that she's already enjoyed. Why would you try to wreck something like that? Why can't we just enjoy it and let the free markets work?
Well, the free market is not working for low-wage workers right now. And companies like Walmart can either drive down wages and standards, or they could help raise them. And that's what we need this company to do. I'm glad there are good companies out there, but this company could pay workers $15 an hour, and it would be good for workers, it would be good for the long run for this company, and it would be good for the economy, because right now, taxpayers are helping subsidize these workers because Walmart's not paying enough.
Although some would argue that Walmart's helping to subsidize welfare benefits and the government too. Kim, thank you very much. It's very noble that you would go out and pray for everyone. We appreciate that, but we want to get to the other side of the story. Have a great holiday and great weekend.
All right, thank you, Charles.
All right, Vinnie Vernuccio, he just is not buying it. He's with the Mackinac, is that right? Mackinac Center. Okay, well, Neil always mispronounces it, so I figured I could too.
Go.
All right, you heard the story. We know this story. You know, listen, it's all these organizations are backed by unions. Unions see 1.4 million workers, and it is so tantalizing to them if they could somehow get those 1.4 million people paying $40 a month. That becomes an extra juggernaut, a shot in the arm that these unions need, because America, for the most part, have rejected unions.
Oh, Charles, here we go again. Every single Thanksgiving, we're talking about the protests at Walmart. It's been since 2012. It's always the day after. It's always this massive hype. And as we're seeing, they're usually light on Walmart workers. But hey, you know what? They go after Walmart. Why? Because it's like Willie Sutton said, that's where the money is. So you're right. This is all about the dues money. What they're trying to do is they're trying to organize Walmart. We're trying to use community groups like the woman, like the one the woman is from that just spoke. And what they're trying to do is make it easier to unionize. They're trying to take away the secret ballot from employees so they can sign them up just with a card out in the open that can be subject to coercion and intimidation. And Charles, it's all about the dues.
Vinnie, what would you say, though, to people that say since these kind of protests started maybe a decade ago, it has forced Walmart and others to sort of step it up? The pay has gotten better, the benefits have gotten better, and if it were not for these organizations, maybe these people would be working for $4 or $5 an hour.
Well, if not for talent, if not for good employer practices, if not for wanting to keep employees, yeah, none of those things would have happened. But it's the fact that they have to keep qualified talent, like the woman before that we started the segment with, that started at the bottom and is working her way up. And that's what the free market is all about. That's what Walmart's doing for its associates. It's letting them start somewhere, giving them that experience, and that's how they get raises, and that's how they're going to make 15 and above, unlike we're seeing with some of these other UFCW union contract employers that are making 11, 12 an hour.
Now, we're looking here at the scenes here. I think yesterday 22 million people went to Walmarts around the country, so I would say that's in addition to the employees, 22 million people who probably are pretty happy that they exist. Now, having having said that, we know that these protests are going to be relentless. They're going to continue and continue and continue. We saw in the midterm elections where even so-called red states voted for higher minimum wage. Is this something that will be a reality one way or the other, though, for Walmart?
Well, we're going to keep talking about it. And by the way, Charles, Walmart is actually really hasn't come out that strongly against the minimum wage. I think in some cases they've actually been for it. And you got to look at their bottom line. For them, it's a good business practice because you raise the minimum wage, they can raise it, but their small business competitors can't. Yeah. So on that one, you know, I got to say I'm not really a fan of Walmart when it comes to their stance on minimum wage.
It's ironic because I looked at the website for the Making Change at Walmart, and they talk about small businesses being part of that coalition. But to your point, these higher wages will hurt small businesses before it hurts Walmart. Vinny, nice seeing you in New York.
Charles, good seeing you. Thanks for having me on.